Welcome to Mind and Body. I am Emily Bright, a holistic health and lifestyle coach, personal trainer, and wellness enthusiast. And I'm here to guide you on your journey to healthy living, from everything fitness, nutrition, and how to break through the barriers and limiting beliefs that hold us back from the life we want. Welcome to your journey and your transformation. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Mind and Body. And in today's episode, I would like to talk about stress and the effects stress have on belly fat. So I want to start off by asking, just who here is stressed or feeling some type of stress in their life right now? And it's a good chance that would be most of us, especially with everything going on around the world. It's almost inevitable that we're all going to experience it in some way or another. And I'm sure that you've all heard that being under chronic stress, so feeling it every day in multiple ways, can cause a ton of different symptoms like a headache, a migraine, trouble sleeping, trouble focusing, maybe changes in your mood and mental health, and the list just goes on and on and on. And I'm sure that you've also heard that stress can also cause weight gain, especially around your midsection. But I want to talk today about how exactly does that work, and I'm about to tell you. So stress can be caused from many different factors, including environmental stress, situational stress, workplace, financial, even relationship stress. And a person can experience this type of stress in their body in 4 different ways. So number 1, biological or chemical, so in the processes of the body. Number 2, mental or emotional, so in one's thoughts, your feelings, or your beliefs. Number 3, spiritual, so in your sense of connection or to that which is greater. And number 4, structural, so in your bones and in your muscles. So today I mainly want to touch on the biological or the chemical side, as this is where we are mainly experiencing what's called digestive distress. So digestive distress is essentially the stress, pain, or bloat you feel after eating when you're not able to fully digest your meal. And some signals of this may be like grogginess or tired. You may feel lethargic, upset stomach, even a headache, just to name a few. And all of these signals are sent from your body to try and warn you that it's going under this stress. But sometimes we think that it's from something else. So it's really important to be able to manage our stress to be able to live a healthy life. But it can be hard to manage, as we all know. So digestive stress is certainly one that can be controlled and managed, but it takes a bit of effort, listening to your body and the cues that your body and your mind are trying to send to you. So I'm going to be giving you a few simple tools throughout this episode that will help you with just that. To start off, it's important to know that some research has suggested that digestion is actually only about 25% of what you eat and 75% of how you're feeling while you're eating or who you're being while you're eating. And that might be a bit surprising to many of you, or maybe even slightly confusing. So I'm just going to break it down a little bit. So maybe you're about to eat a really nutritious, healthy salad for lunch, but you're about to eat it at a workplace that's toxic, or toxic coworkers, or it's noisy and you just can't quite focus. Or maybe you're at home in a cluttered room with the TV on, you're scrolling through your phone, looking through Instagram or Facebook or any of those. What's going to happen is your body and your mind are distracted, so it's going to turn on the stress response. So when we feel the symptoms of stress, we can expect like a raise in our heart rate, our blood pressure, like respiration increases, and so many other things. And because of this, our digestion or our metabolic power is much less effective, and we may not be absorbing many of the nutrients found in a healthy meal. So this is pretty discouraging when we feel low energy or lethargic after eating a meal that's supposed to fuel us and make us feel good. Maybe are you finding yourself plowing through your meals without much of a breather? Are you eating while constantly on the go, or eating while watching TV or videos, again, scrolling through your phone? or just eating in a poor mood in general, or in a negative environment that just stresses you out. Well, these are all different types of stressors that can lead to digestive upset and digestive stress. And again, have you feeling that tired, groggy, inability to concentrate feeling. So you may be wondering what exactly happens when we experience this digestive stress and how it can cause weight gain. Well, essentially, when eating in a stressful or distracting environment, we inevitably eat way faster than we would be or should be, which stresses out our metabolism and our digestive system to be able to break down that food and absorb those nutrients optimally. So with that metabolic power down, our ability to utilize the food and metabolize it is sacrificed. And instead of breaking down our food, some of it may be storing elsewhere in the body instead of it using for fuel, which sucks, right? We don't want that. We want to be able to use that nutritious food that we're eating as fuel for the day. We don't want to be storing it in our body because that can, of course, lead to weight gain. So now thinking back to that little statistic I mentioned earlier about digestion being 25% of what you eat and 75% of how you're feeling or who you're being while you eat. And again, this is not to say that you can eat a cheeseburger and do it in a great mood and expect awesome digestion and absorption of nutrients, which, as we know, there's not many in a cheeseburger, unfortunately. It's merely suggesting that what we eat is only part of the equation. And if we're trying to eat healthier and want to get the most benefit out of the food, it is all about our digestion and the absorption of that food. So when we're stressed, our body simply cannot digest optimally, so our nervous system just shuts down our digestion. If you think back to prehistoric times when cavemen would have to endure fighting off tigers or other wild animals to fight for their food, well, the caveman would be experiencing what's called the fight or flight response, which is essentially an acute stress response from our central nervous system when harm or threat to our survival is present. So when the stress occurs, our body reroutes the blood from the stomach and our digestion to our legs and our arms so that we have more energy for a quick getaway. Now, while this is a very efficient power of the body in this situation, not many of us are forced to run from a tiger on a daily basis. So this then becomes a problem when we're faced with a stressful situation, as our body doesn't necessarily know how to differentiate various types of stress. It responds in that same way of our blood being rerouted to our arms and our legs and away from our digestive system. So our nervous system has a lot to do with our digestion, and the autonomic nervous system, or the ANS, has the biggest influence over this. So this is just a branch of the peripheral nervous system. So the ANS is responsible for stimulating enzymatic secretions to get the digestive process flowing, for optimum nutrient absorption and turning digestion on and stress off. So there are two different branches of the ANS, which are the sympathetic nervous system, and which turns, again, stress on and digestion off. So the parasympathetic nervous system turns off the stress and turns digestion on, so the exact opposite. So it's responsible for relaxing the body and telling the body that you're safe from threat or harm. So when that caveman is faced with the threat of a tiger, that sympathetic nervous system turns on the stress response and digestion off so that he has more blood to run away, meaning that the blood that was supporting our digestive tract has now been rerouted to those extremities for survival. So this is the same thing that's happening when we're about to eat a meal in a stressed state. Optimally, we would want to be able to digest our food and feel relaxed with that parasympathetic nervous system. However, when we're feeling that stress, digestion is turned off and stress on. So we can't have both. Have you ever noticed that when you're feeling stressed, you maybe get a stomach ache or loss of appetite, or maybe even the need to go to the bathroom? Well, that's because that blood, again, that was helping your digestion and absorption is being rerouted, and our digestion is quickly turned off. So that's why you can sometimes get a stomach ache when you're feeling stressed or you just don't feel well. So when we're not able to digest that food properly, our metabolic power, again, is decreased, meaning we're burning much fewer calories than normal, which is also called your basal metabolic rate. So how many calories your body burns on a daily basis, even at rest. So that is definitely down when we're stressed. And what's worse is that after a stressor occurs, our body releases cortisol. And cortisol is a stress hormone that's released from our adrenal glands. And usually cortisol returns back to normal after a stressful event. And our parasympathetic nervous system can turn off that stress and our digestion back on. So it's a normal and healthy process in our body. However, if you're experiencing this chronically, so stress chronically, or stress more often than you want to, then you can expect an overexposure to cortisol. And unfortunately, cortisol is also a significant appetite stimulant, which is why people tend to overeat when they feel stressed. So if we're always stressed and have excess cortisol, you can experience premature aging, decreased nutrient absorption, which again can lead to nutrient deficiencies, increased sodium and fluid retention, decrease in thermic efficiency, again, which is that basal metabolic rate, so your ability to burn calories, decrease in sex hormones, growth hormones, insulin resistance, which can lead to heart disease, diabetes, and many others. Are you feeling stressed about stress yet? You're probably thinking, well, what do I do about it? What can I do to help prevent stress eating or putting my body in a relaxed state before eating? Well, one way is to utilize what's called the emotional brain training, or EBT. EBT is a way to reliably and consistently digest your emotions so that you can get into a relaxed state before each meal. So EBT is a science-based program that was developed over the last 30 years by a doctor named Laurel Mellon. And it integrates advances in neuroscience and stress physiology that rewrites patterns of anxiety, depression, overeating, and unhealthy habits by using practical and easy-to-use tools. So the way it works is that you do a check-in once a day. You take a deep breath, check in with your feelings, and ask yourself, right now, what is my stress level? Am I feeling great? Am I feeling good? Am I a little stressed? Am I definitely stressed? So you're moving through feeling angry, maybe feeling sad, feeling afraid, feeling guilty, and then you're moving on into what you can do to feel gratitude, happiness, security, and pride. And you use this emotional house cleaning to really clear away these negative feelings and then become aware of the positive feelings that are truly underneath them. So I would suggest that when doing this, you would write them down so you can notice patterns and be able to acknowledge how you're feeling stressed and the root cause of those throughout the day. So just state the facts about why you're feeling stressed and continue until those feelings become very strong for you, and continue until it offers a moment of opportunity to change the way you process the stress of life. So perhaps you write down, I'm angry that my house is a mess. I'm sad that I have to clean it. I'm afraid of others thinking I'm dirty, and I feel guilty I haven't got to do it yet. Then maybe you'd write down the positive statements, such as, well, I feel proud that I have a place I can call home. I feel secure in a safe neighborhood, and that I have belongings I love, and pride that I can own wonderful things that bring me joy. So what you're doing is you're transitioning out of negative and stressful emotions and into positive, relaxed ones, and readying the body for food. So this is going to be especially powerful for those of you who have challenges with emotional eating, binge eating, overeating, even compulsive eating, or if you just have a lot of stresses in your life, maybe your life circumstances are just crazy. This is going to be extremely useful for you. Or perhaps this isn't quite up your alleyway and not something you think that you could do consistently. Well, you could also just take a few minutes before you're about to eat a meal and check in with yourself. How are you feeling in this moment? Are you a little stressed? If so, try just taking 2 minutes to do some deep breathing, or a technique that I use with clients called the 5-5-7 breath. The 5-5-7 breath shifts you from a state of low digestive activity to full digestive force. So at every meal or snack, anytime food is about to cross past your lips, ask yourself, am I about to eat under stress? If the answer is yes, just pause, then take 10 long, slow, deep breaths using this simple method. So you're going to inhale for a count of 5, hold it for a count of 5, and exhale for a count of 7, letting that exhale a little longer than the inhale. And as you continue this conscious breathing, scan your senses. The scent of the air in your nose, the red and orange of your eyelids, your taste buds, the feeling of your bum on the chair, on a couch, your feet on the floor. And just keep breathing and scanning, tuning in with a heightened awareness. And when we're able to take these 2 minutes to focus on nothing but our breath, you will likely notice a much slower heart rate, more calm mind, and less tension in the body. And this is going to help you to be able to digest your meal at full capacity and you to be able to feel good. Another tool I like to use with clients is something called the 20-minute meal. So along with everything else, it's really important to be able to set aside enough time to be able to enjoy your meal and enjoy your food in a relaxed environment. And it has been said that the body requires up to 20 minutes before it feels that it is full or that satiated. So if you finish your lunch maybe in 10 minutes, try giving yourself an extra 10 minutes before you try eating something else. Ideally, it would take you 20 minutes to complete your meal, which would allow your body to digest properly. So I challenge you, next time you go to eat, time yourself and see just how long it takes you. I can almost guarantee you will be surprised because the average person finishes their meal in under 7 minutes. It's crazy, and it's a lot harder than you think it is because I think we're in such a society now where we're just always eating on the go or eating to get to the next thing. We're living really busy lives, and it's so important for us to take that time to be able to enjoy the meal so that our body can feel good and we can feel good. So aside from actually eating or prior to eating, what else you can do to help with stress is movement. So movement plays a really big role in our mental health and our digestion. So try to aim to get 20 to 30 minutes of movement per day. And that can be absolutely anything that you enjoy. It could be walking, running, stretching, hiking, dancing, gardening, whatever feels good for you and that makes you happy. And more importantly, that you can do consistently. And of course, you've heard it so many times before, but it's so important to also practice self-care. As we know, in tough and stressful times such as these, self-care can really be neglected and put on the back burner, especially for parents or caretakers. So setting aside a little bit of time each day to do something you enjoy that relaxes and rejuvenates you is so important. Maybe that's reading a book or taking a bath, going for a walk, calling a friend, trying a new recipe, whatever that is for you. Make sure you set that time aside because it's important for you to be able to fill up your own cup so that you can help others or go about other tasks in your life. You need to feel good first. Journaling is another great resource to help combat stress. So even if you decide just to journal just 5 minutes a day on how you feel, maybe what your triggers were or what good things happened that day or things that you didn't enjoy and why, you're able to log these feelings and emotions and know what time of day they come up, or you're able to realize what those root causes are or different patterns that are coming up. In this way, you'll be able to better control it and combat it. So try it. I know journaling is really, really underrated and it's talked about and maybe it seems a little woohoo to you, but just give it a try. It doesn't have to be a lot. It doesn't have to be crazy. Just a few sentences at the end of the day. And I can assure you it will make a difference. Now, a few other techniques I'd like to suggest for you is maybe seek support from friends if you're feeling chronic stress, family and loved ones, or perhaps even a registered dietitian if you're having issues with food, or even a health coach who can really help you to uncover your barriers, your beliefs, or habits that are really holding you back or keeping you stuck from the results that you want. And what a health coach can do is to provide you these tools that are going to help you to transition into healthier habits, healthier beliefs, and healthier experiences that are going to nourish your body and your mind. And I would be happy to be that person for you. Whether we work together or not, or you're just a listener, I care for you and I wish nothing but the best for you. So I hope that by listening to this, you've been encouraged enough to analyze the stress that you may be experiencing in your life and start with small little changes that can help you manage it better. Not only for your physical health, but your mental health as well. And again, if you need someone to talk to, vent to, or to help you come up with an action plan for some holistic tools for managing your stress, I'd be happy to chat with you. You can email me at emilybrightfitnessandhealth@hotmail.com or find me on my website, emilybrightfitnessandhealthcoaching.com. And until next time, stay fit, stay healthy, and stay happy.